Flagstaff International Relief Effort, acronym FIRE, and they have provided aid and training to 12 of Mongolia's 21 provinces. And as we alluded to in the first segment, most of this, a good portion of this, coming from the state of Arizona. That's how they are involved, of course. You get help elsewhere, but you're saying 95% of this comes from the state of Arizona. Which is amazing to us. Speaking of Mongolia, of course, now you travel there also once a year, twice a year? Every year.
For anywhere from 2 to 4 months.
And you pay your own plane fare?
The organization pays my plane fare, so I am a paid employee. Yeah.
What is it like over there? Can you kind of give us just a thumbnail sketch of what it's like over in Mongolia?
There's a lot of similarities to northern Arizona, actually. There's believed to be a lot of ethnic relation to the Navajo, a lot of cultural similarities, a lot of similar practices, but it's very dry. It's a high desert.
And we're seeing right now some of the housing. Housing.
Okay. Yeah, this is a ger, which is a traditional, or a yurt, which is what the rest of the world usually calls them. It's a felt tent. It has a collapsible structure made out of larch, and then it's covered with felt and then canvas, and it's very portable. They can take this down and pack it up and all the contents in a matter of hours and move it.
They are a migratory type of culture,
They
aren't
are nomadic. 30% of them still move 4 to 10 times a year.
Are simple people, happy people?
Very stoic people. It's the coldest country in the world, so I would say content. They have a very, very simple diet. A lot of mutton, dairy, not a lot of vegetables, not a lot of water as a part of their
education for the kids.
They actually have a 98% literacy rate. The Russian government was there for 70 years, and they implemented a very excellent medical infrastructure and education system.
Homeschooled, or they have actually
boarding schools? Most of them are boarding schools because they are nomadic. So they have the equivalent of states and counties, and each county will have a boarding school. With one issue that they do have is that 75% of the college graduates are women. They tend to send the women to school more than the men. The men are more useful.
We could learn a lot from them, wouldn't we?
A lot of the world could. Well, it's created some issues that it's a very unique situation. It's called a reverse gender gap. So they feel that the men are very strong. They can be herders. They can be drivers, so they don't need the education, and they keep a lot of them at home, but send the women to school, which then has created an imbalance. Women have trouble finding equals. The men feel disempowered. A lot of alcoholism among the men.
Are they materialistic?
Not at all.
So I mean, again, as Tanya said,
gosh, I wouldn't think so.
Looking at their
But to your point, Tanya, we could learn a lot from that, because they're very happy, simple people with not a whole lot.
Right.
Nomadic, of course, for their very survival, many, I think, in their culture. But if they're not of the nomadic, you said not all of them are. What does that section? The capital city of Ulaanbaatar has over 1 million people living in it, which is a little less than half of the population. 60% of those live in their yurts or gers on the outskirts of the city. So a lot of Now you keep saying
there.
Outskirts of the city. No one lives in the city proper?
They do.
Or do they do?
They do in apartment buildings, but like when the nomads with this past winter will lose their livestock, they move to the outskirts of the city. Very high unemployment. A lot of
they become part of the city on the perimeter.
Government. Where are they with government?
It has collapsed, huh?
Yeah, well, they want it to collapse right now. It's kind of like a teenager. It's going through a lot of growing pains. It's only been its own democracy for 18 years. Even though it's a democracy, they democratically elect the Communist Party regularly. And right now, the Mongolian people are protesting, calling for the dissolution of Parliament. So very sort of unstable government.
What's the biggest issue over there right now?
There's a lot. It's a very complicated situation. They do some of the issues that we are addressing are health issues. Hepatitis is a major problem. They estimate that 60% of the population has hepatitis B or C. One of the top 2 forms of transmission is through the hospitals. So we are working with the National Institute of Health and the World Health Organization to implement a hepatitis education and vaccination program, as well, and also a medical waste management and health safety program to help deal with that problem. But at the same time, they think that they have found the 2nd largest copper and gold deposits in the world in Mongolia. So
so there's a shiny light at the end of the tunnel.
Hopefully, if the government can, get its act together and make the most of it, and it doesn't get eaten away with corruption. And that's part of what a lot of the protests are right now, is they want to see that wealth trickle down to all the levels.
For the people, exactly. The Magic Lake trip.
Magic Lake trip, we have a fabulous horse trip this summer, which is a fundraiser for us. We've partnered with Hamid Sardar, who is a Mongolian and Tibetan scholar and expert from Harvard and filmmaker, and he has a company called Windhorse Lodge. His lodge was actually featured in the book called Horse Boy, about the autistic boy, and we visit the same shaman that he visited. We visit the reindeer people, take a yacht cruise down Lake Hovsgol, which is the 2nd largest lake in all of Asia.
Really a once in a lifetime, and it's a 14-day journey.
It's 14 days, and it has excellent food. All the chefs are Mongolian, but they have been flown to France and spent a year there learning how to cook. It includes fine wines, and it's a
things we don't think of.
Yes.
In Mongolia. Traveling in Mongolia is very difficult. You're usually camping. You're eating a lot of mutton and potatoes, and so this is for the more refined taste, an opportunity for them to also experience the beauty of Mongolia.
And all the proceeds go to fire.
All the proceeds go to fire.
Land of the Blue Lake.
Yep, that's Lake Hovsgol. It is one of the oldest lakes in the world.
It's blue?
It is very blue. It is
Did they
very
put
beautiful.
dye in it?
No.
You must have a very blue sky there, reflection of the blue sky.
Another similarity to Arizona.
Yes.
Very similar climate.
Meredith, congratulations.
Thank you so
on doing
much.
Such a wonderful
You are
work.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yes.
Thank you, for the walking tour of Mongolia. That was very, very interesting.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate it very much.
When we come back, we're going to talk about that erasable art.
Yes, we're going to talk about chalk, which is nice. Chalk it up. But first, Tanya, you're going to tell our audience, do you want to look good, look better? I know I do. And do you have the answer for that, Tanya?
Skin Perfections, that's the place to go. Whether you want a filler, one of those liquid fillers that they put in your face. I don't know why I'm going like this. Why would I do that? I guess because you get bigger. And Botox, whether it's that, no matter what it is, maybe you just want an evaluation of your skin. Do you know that cleanser you're using may not be doing the job? They have a machine that'll show you all the little gunky stuff that piles up in your skin from your cleanser. You need to get all of that out of your skin to have a bright, fresh, dewy skin and a great complexion. Skin Perfection's the place to find that. You check them out.
Very nice.